All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, another NBA regular season video, and the first trade season video. We are in the last, I guess, like 72 hours, 48 hours almost of the NBA 2026 trade deadline. We are nearing closer to that deadline, and today felt like the trade deadline day. It is not, but we got some trades. I'm going to talk about all of them tomorrow, but I was waiting for like a really big fish, like a super big one to talk about, or at least do like an impromptu video like this about, away from the regularly scheduled programming that we usually do on here. What happened was Darius Garland got traded for James Harden, and this story kind of broke yesterday. That there were talks of this happening, that it could happen, that it might happen. They were working out the details of it, and it went through today. It went through maybe about, let me say, like maybe an hour ago, 50 minutes ago. I wanted to wait to see if there was some more details. Um, this trade happened. This is the most recent one. We have some other ones that I think are trades that are going to affect other trades tomorrow or tonight. So we're going to wait to talk about those. But this one seems like a definitive trade that this is going to be the Cavs roster. There's not going to be any more big alterations, unless there's getting off some other money that they have on their books. So we're going to talk about this trade. We're going to preview some of these other trades for tomorrow's video. So like I could have say like the video. If you have an opinion, comment down below. And if just like the vibes, consider subscribing. So a few that happened. Some we got some trades. And we're gonna specifically talk about this one, but I just want to get these on the record. Um, these are all from Shams Charania, by the way. Um, Breaking earlier in the day, and yeah. So the Memphis Grizzlies are trading star forward Jaren Jackson Jr., John Carnchar, Jock Landale, and Vince Williams Jr. to the Utah Jazz for Walter Clayton, Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, Georges Niang, and three future first round picks. I have lots of thoughts about this one. We'll get to that one tomorrow. Um, we have another one here. Minnesota and Detroit made a trade, um, along with the Pistons. Detroit, Minnesota, and the Bulls have made a trade involving the Bulls at the back end. Um, Jaden Ivey and Mike Conley Jr. are going to the Bulls. Kevin Herter and Dario Sarge are going to the Pistons, and the Detroit also receives a 2026 first round pick protected swap from Minnesota. So the Pistons ship out Jaden Ivey. Um, it was reported a couple hours ago that Mike Conley will probably not stay with the Bulls. They're probably going to find another destination for him, so he will not be on the Bulls. But this is a new start for Jaden Ivey, and we will talk about this more tomorrow as well. And then we have a bit of a smaller one. Maybe if you're on the East Coast, it's a big one. If you're in the Eastern Conference, it's a big one. The Chicago Bulls are trading center Nikola Vucevic and a second round pick to the Boston Celtics for Anthony Simons and a second round pick. So a player and a pick swap essentially for the Celtics and the Bulls. I have thoughts about this one as well. And then the big one, the really big one here, Darius Garland for James Harden. And when I heard this yesterday, I wasn't really confused. Well, I was confused at first because I was like, what's gone wrong in Los Angeles? And what I've heard is that James Harden wants an extension. He wants to play more basketball. His career isn't quite over yet, and the Clippers don't want to give him that money. So here we are, James Harden now on his sixth team because it was OKC, Houston, Brooklyn, Philly, Clippers, now a Cleveland Cavalier. Man, oh man, the this made sense to me in my head because I had said in my other video, um, talking about the Cavs when they got rid of DeAndre Hunter, Darius is never healthy. Not historically. Throughout his career so far, he hasn't been healthy, which is a shame. He's a baller. He plays basketball. He's a really good basketball player. His shot selection at times, I'm like, ugh, I'm not in love with, but he's a good basketball player. You need to be healthy. The best ability is availability, is the old saying. And he hasn't been available. And I said in that video, I was like, well, you do the initial trade a couple days ago to get um, Keon Ellis and Dennis Schroeder to sort of make up that backcourt. And in that video, I was like, oh, Dennis Schroeder could start sometimes. Keon Ellis could start. No, those guys are coming off the bench now, and they're gonna come off the bench for James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, which is now your starting backcourt, which is crazy. That's crazy. But I don't understand this for the Clippers unless you're going for a complete rebuild. Unless in the next 40 something hours, 50 something hours, you're gonna trade Kawhi. Because as much as I like Darius Garland, I think a team of Darius Garland and Kawhi Leonard, two guys who haven't been the healthiest and who know how to play basketball but still aren't the healthiest, isn't great. And it makes me very concerned. And it, I just I don't, I don't know why, the Clippers. I get the aspect of, well, instead of letting James Harden walk for nothing, let's trade him. Let's get some assets back. Darius Garland is a fine basketball player. He can play for us. Um, maybe perhaps we can make this a playoff level team once again. Um, uh, and they did give away. Hold on, I got to pull up the tweet. They did also give away. Um, I didn't even give you guys the full trade. They did. The Clippers also gave away. Um, Derek Jones Jr. I believe, right? James Harden. No, they didn't. Where did I see? Oh no, that was the proposed trade that they would have to give up Derek Jones Jr. Derek Jones Jr. is not in this trade, so it's a straight up swap. Um, and the Clippers get a second round pick from the Cavs. So it's a straight up play for uh, both teams' point guards to swap essentially. Um, Darius Garland on the Clippers. Let me finish my thought about that. I think Darius Garland is maybe sometimes a below average starting point guard, but he gets the job done. If you look at this Clippers team as constructed right now, and this is all subject to change, him playing with Kawhi, Zubac, um, and any other the talent they have over there, fine. Like John Collins, Brooke Lopez. It was funny because the Clippers played last night, and their young guys really balled out. Their young guys played really well. Jordan Miller, Kobe Brown, Cam Christie. Um, a lot of the young guys got to play the other night, and they looked really good. Um, for me, how old is Darius gone? He can't be late 20s yet, can he? He can't. He came out his first year. He came out his first year of college, so he did 1 year. He has to be like 25, 26. Yeah, he's 26. So 26, he's on the younger side of a timeline if you do want to build around Darius Garland. I just don't know where the Clippers go from here because you really don't have any draft picks. Um, you're gonna need to get draft picks, and the only way to do that is to trade somebody really talented. And Kawhi might be that guy. Vincent Zubac might be that guy. Um, you might just start emptying your assets at this point, and maybe that's an off-season thing. Maybe you do that in the off-season, but right now, as this team is currently constructed, at almost 9:30 East Coast time, I think this team is fine, and they're still going to try to compete and be competitive this year. And then maybe they cross the bridge of getting rid of Kawhi, getting rid of some of the other assets in the offseason. And they say, hey, we're going to regroup around Darius Garland. We have a bunch of young guys already that have played very well this season. We're gonna get rid of Bradley Beal. We're gonna get rid of Chris Paul. We're gonna get rid of all these old guys. We're gonna bring in some young talent, and we're gonna try to rebuild. The funniest thing, also, when I saw this trade proposed and it was floating around from reliable sources, I was like, man, the All Star game is gonna be in LA, like next week, like a couple days from now, like a handful of days from now. So it's gonna be a weird time in LA if everybody's gonna be gone. If you're not gonna have no stars. Kawhi also named to the one of the All Star teams this year. That was announced today as well. So um, I will say this: if everything works out and the Clippers do go into a rebuild, I'm happy Darius is in a better place. The Cavs thing, I was very hard on him because the team needed to be good, and he just never showed up, and he just he never did the right things, and it was crazy because you would see him do the right things in like a regular season game or like a game that didn't matter, but like when it came down to it, I hate to say it, Darius wasn't a big game guy. He wasn't, and maybe that was the subject of not being able to play with Donovan Mitchell, and maybe he just didn't have enough time to grow. I mean, there were years in there where people saying Darius Garland is the worst basketball player in the NBA. That was like year two of his NBA career, and like since then he's been a two-time All Star. He's um he's averaged 20 in this league. That's not easy to do. He's averaged 23 times. He's been above 18 points or at 18 points two times in his career. Um, he's not a great player. He's a good enough player. And for him to have 6 years NBA experience and get to go to LA and maybe play in a different, definitely play in a different environment, is good for him. And as somebody who's been like, he's been in my peripheral vision as somebody like I'm sort of a fan of. I just want to see him do well. This is a good spot for him, and I hope everything goes right in LA, and I hope he actually gets an opportunity, and he doesn't have to really be pressured with making this team a playoff team. Maybe he needs that pressure. Maybe that does fire him up, but I don't think he needs to be in that environment. I think he needs to be in an environment where he can still grow, where he can still um, mature a little bit more. Because the time that he's played, um, the time that he's played, is being cut so short at times. Like he's never played 82 games. He got close in 2024, 2025. He got really close. He got close in 22, 23. He got close in 21, 22. In other seasons, he played less than 60 games. So if he can get healthy and he can actually rest and, you know, be the best version of himself, get back to this 21 point a game scorer guy and 8 assists with only like, he's a high turnover guy, but um, these were some bad teams. Maybe not forcing it too much and letting him actually play the game he wants to play um, will be good. So that's the Darius Garland part of this. Um, oh, do I like him with Kawhi? Yes. Do I like him with the Ivica Zubac? Yes. This is probably the I don't want to say the most coherent team, but the less this is probably the least clunkiest version of basketball that Darius Garland has been able to play because he's always had to play with some like really I want to say like paint packing bigs like he's had to deal with other people in the backcourt with him. He's going to be the only guy in the backcourt for this um, Los Angeles Lakers team now. Really, like he's going to get to play with Chris Dunn in the backcourt, Cam Christie. Um, yeah, he's going to be one of the only guys in the backcourt. So he's going to get a lot of minutes, a lot of burn, and be able to play the way he wants to play, hopefully, and dump it down to the Kawhi every now and then. Now, on to the James Harden part of this. Um, I I I understand why the Cavs do this. Again, if they had the same thought process as me, is like Darius Garland's never healthy. We just acquired Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis, serviceable starting point guards. But if there's a better guard on the market and you can get him for the low, and you just have to get rid of one of your starting guards, you do it. And James Harden, known playoff choker, known playoff no show, but the guy in the backcourt with him now is not that. Darius Garland is a gamer. He's a baller. He's been in big games. He's been in big games versus the Clippers when he was a Utah Jazz. So the backcourt together, I think, can work. And I think this version of James Harden, the one that's more, um, I want to say team oriented, but control the pace, push the pace, make the right reads, control the offense with Donovan Mitchell is is going to be really good. And I am super excited to see that version of this Cavs team. He's going to make, not to say that Darius Garland do this, but Darius Garland's no James Harden. James Harden is going to make Evan Mobley look better, make Jared Allen look better. Jared Allen had 40, I believe, 2 nights ago. James Harden is going to make everybody's life easier. And from what I've seen, the projected starting lineup for the Cavs would be James Donovan, Jalen Tyson, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. That's a great starting five. And it might be a little overwhelming, might be a little awkward. They might go on a skid um, while they're getting adjusted to each other. But come like say March, they'll be good. They'll be good. Um, and I think this is a move that's been kind of Darius Garland thing's been looming for a little bit now. Um, sorry, I had some technical difficulties there. um, Sorry about that. Some technical difficulties. This is what I get for recording late at night. I'm not prepared at all. Just off the cuff. The Darius Garland thing has been looming for a little bit. The Cavs owner has not been too happy with the way they've been playing or what they've been managed to accomplish, especially coming off of last year where they were really successful. This is a big swing. Uh, doesn't make them. I think this pushes them, hopefully, to at least a conference finals appearance and maybe a deep 7 game series in the conference finals. Um, Against who? I don't know. And the East is so wide open. Hell, they could even make it if if everything really gels. They could really make it to the finals. I think that unto itself would be an accomplishment. Now you want to win the finals, but you make this big swing and you get to the finals the first year of it. You only get to play like what, like 30 something games together as a group and you get to go to the finals. I think that's really special. And I think that would validate this trade. And you would obviously re-sign James and put him on somewhat of a longer term deal to play with Donovan Mitchell. And this sort of silence some of the Donovan Mitchell thing that's always floating around that like he doesn't want to be there or like he's going to go to a big market. He's going to play with James Harden now. It's going to make his life a whole lot easier. And I've said on this channel over and over and over again, whenever I watch the Cavs, it feels like Donovan Mitchell has to do way too much to beat like average teams. And now he won't have to do way too much. He can just do enough and get away with it. And it doesn't need an explosive game from like Jalen Tyson or like anybody like off the bench. It's just going to be James Harden, Darius Garland, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, and the rest of the guys on this team. Defensive Player of the Year, Evan Mobley, and All Star Jared Allen. So yeah, more specifically about James Harden and Donovan Mitchell. I feel like at times they do play a little bit similarly, but if you haven't been watching the Clippers, I don't blame you if you haven't been watching the Clippers, but this is a different James Harden. James Harden has submitted to a role. He's like, I'm in my older years. I can still give you like a little 20 and like 15 assists, 10 rebound game every now and then, but I'm not going crazy. That's what Donovan Mitchell's there for. Him with Evan Mobley. Um, I I was looking at this last night when I was thinking about it. I was like, what MVPs and Defensive Player of the Years have played together? And I thought it was a really short list. It's actually a very long list. Those MVPs being James Harden and Evan Mobley. Um, there's been a couple instances of it. There's been Allen Iverson to Kempe Mutombo in the really early 2000s. There's been some more recent stuff like LeBron James and Marcus Gasol, um, LeBron James, Marcus Smart. There's been a few instances of it, and I think James being a former MVP doesn't play a part in this at all. But I just thought it was an interesting tidbit that it's very rare sometimes that you see. It's somewhat rare to see an MVP, a former MVP, and a Defensive Player of the Year play together. So yeah, now the Cavaliers have two of them, and yeah, and they get and now they're really stacked. I like, and especially because they're gonna get Alfonso Ball. It's just gonna happen at this point. Um, you open up a lot more minutes. You have a lot of guard depth. You hope and pray Evan Mobley and Jared Allen can stay healthy, and then you're set. You're really set. I like Jalen Tyson a lot. I like Craig Porter a lot. Naquan Tomlin can give you some little minutes here and there. Um, Tyrese Proctor's okay. Sam Merrill is okay. I expect um, Max Strus to be back at some point this year. So they're loaded, and I think they might this I like this team, this version of this Cavs team right now, as of this day. more than I did at the start of the season, and I like them better matched up against teams like the Pistons and like the Knicks, um, because in a world where like the Knicks and the Cavs meet up at some point, you have somebody to guard Jalen Brunson, you have somebody to go at Jalen Brunson, you have Donovan Mitchell and James Harden. You can only send one of your best defenders on each of them. It's gonna be, I don't want to say it's gonna be scary, but it's gonna be scary. Um, any other stuff here that I have? Any other thoughts that I have? No, we'll keep it short. Um, and we'll talk about more of these trades tomorrow. And I think I'm just gonna, maybe we'll talk about the games tomorrow, but these trades that came out today, I really want to dive deep into these, and maybe there'll be more tonight after this video goes up. So, yeah, it is, what day is it? It is um, Tuesday, um, February 3rd. If another trade happens in the meantime, it's almost 10 o'clock here. So if another trade happens and this video's up, um, yeah, you'll get it tomorrow. I won't talk about it. This is the only video that I'm gonna make spontaneously, hopefully, um, at least tonight, unless something crazy happens. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers.